What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Greenlight Your Own Life podcast with Tiana today. This is going to be a solo episode, so buckle up. We're about to give you some good gems. I'm going to give you five practical ways that you can creatively direct your own life. If you're listening to this podcast, you're probably creative, you have ideas, and sometimes you dream about, well, what would that look like if it was me? Well, guess what? I don't want you to wait anymore. I'm done waiting. We are green lighting our own life, okay? And in this case, why not creatively direct our own life as well? There was a time when I realized that I had to reset my life. And in order to reset my life, and I've talked about this on previous podcast episodes, I had to think of myself as not just Tiana Gandelman, the mom, the wife, the employee. I wanted to make my life mean something. And so that meant I had to look within and creatively figure out, what do I want to actually come across as? How do I want to be seen? What makes sense? What is genuine to me? I'd spent so much time working on other people and their vision that I lost myself a little bit. I forgot the cool things that I actually can offer. And then when I did the work and I started really putting the vision and I really started putting the ideas to pen and paper and I acted on them, I realized, wow, I have a lot more to offer than what I thought I was offering for somebody else. So if that resonates with you, then let's take this. Let's go. Let's run. Let's make this happen. And I am a woman of my word. Hopefully you can see through my actions, I'm in business. Okay. My business name isn't Taking Care of Business Girl for nothing. Okay. We are action packed. So let's get into the steps that I have designed for you to make this happen. Step one is get clear on what you're actually directing. Most people say, I want more. Okay. That's cute. But that's not direction. It's confusion. You need to really iron out the details of what it is that you hope for yourself. And that means thinking big. That means dreaming and really thinking to yourself in a genuine place of your heart that it's possible. When you kind of just throw things out there because you have time to kill, or that maybe you have a couple extra bucks that you say, oh, maybe throw this idea out, which I did. I totally did that in my process of resetting and creatively directing myself, because I thought maybe this would be something people would be interested in. And really, at the end of the day, we should be creating things and designing things that make sense to us, for us, that we know people need. So, for instance, you know me, I say this, if it's not on a list, it doesn't exist. I'm always talking about putting things pen to paper. So I created like a digital product series of things because I loved Canva and I just loved making things. But at the end of the day, it was kind of a blasé idea. It wasn't anything that landed with people because it's saturated. There's a complete saturation of digital products in that case on Etsy or anywhere on Creative Market. And so it was kind of like this pot. What is it? Fly by the pie by the fly by the something, pie in the sky idea. I'm keeping that because Lord knows I'm always almost right. Where's my mom to help me? It was a vague idea. As soon as I started really getting down to the nitty gritties of what I felt like I could offer people and like share and serve, like then I saw a difference in my life. So when you're creatively thinking about something, what you want to be directing for yourself, it's really, really essential to iron out what those details are before you start actioning things, just so that it's not so vague. Because they say the riches and the niches. I am butchering these quotes, but you want to niche down. Okay. You want to get down to the core of what makes you that no one else, not a single person can do to add to the conversation. This is how could you add value to the world that is only designed from you. And once I really understood that, and I was like, this is my edge. This is my superpower. I can't stop thinking and breathing about this one thing. Well, guess what? That's the one that worked because it was a natural magnetic pull that you could realize, oh, this person means business. I'm not one-stop shop, or this is a one idea and then I'm on to the next. No, like this is the one that anchors my purpose. So I want you to, and that's just me being really honest. Just because we're in here and we're sharing stories. Another one that was kind of vague for me, but it was creatively directing because it was music and it was movement and all this stuff, was I used to do Feel Good Friday. And it was cute. It was fun. People liked it. But at the end of it, it was Wasn't anything special. Anyone could have done Feel Good Friday. But now my whole world, my Greenlight Your Own Life, my inspiration inbox, my Creative Director Pro Academy, I have to say it because that's the world that I live in. That is something truly designed and custom made by myself. So when you are ready to creatively direct your own life, what is that? What is that for you? How do you want to present yourself in the most unique way possible that feels true to your core? When you find that, when you start testing the waters, when you start having conversations with people about it, you'll realize someone's going to resonate with you and want to get on board to support you. And that's the ticket. You cannot greenlight a life you haven't clearly imagined. So in the sense of when I dream of where I can take this, I dream so big, you guys. You have no idea. And this is a dream. This podcast is a dream, and I'm actioning it. And I'm here, and I'm turning up every single month here for you, and in many other ways. But when I dream of it and I think of it and I can see that there's a vision, then that's when I can move forward. And it doesn't matter how I get there. I just got to get there. That's when things become very clear. So you got to get clear on your vision. So I want you to ask yourself, what do I want to be doing daily? What do I want to be doing daily? What do you want to do daily? That is a real question. And you should ask yourself that. Because for me, I'm realizing now that I'm in my sweet spot, I'm doing things daily that I have dreamt of. You should too. It's possible. Okay. Who am I surrounded by? You got to trim the fat, cut the BS. If someone is not down for your vision or counter conversations you every single step of the way, guess what? They're probably going to do that all the time, and that's no fun. So find your people. My mom always said, and she's not wrong. You are the company you keep. So stand by the people that you want to stand next to and make it count. And then what kind of rooms are you currently in? Are you in the rooms that help you grow? Are you in the rooms that you see people in a place of inspiration? If that's the case, then that's where you want to be. But otherwise, if you're in rooms and you're kind of talking about all the same kind of middle of the road, maybe some gossips, that's not going to help you grow at all. You need to get clear. That is first and foremost. Number 2, build your reference bank. If you're around me, you're going to hear me say this all the time. Honey, I don't get ready. I stay ready. Let me say it again for the people in the back. That's what Becky G said, right? I don't have to get ready. I stay ready. My creative director world, when I get a call and they say you have a job and this is what we want and blah, 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 I am already pulling from the bank of assets of creative ideas that I have been inspired by the walks of life, by the doom scrolling on my phone. Okay. I am screenshotting. I am writing. I am doing all the things, creating this vision of inspiration for me all day, every day. And that is applied then to my job. Well, guess what? You can do that for yourself as well. Like I said, I am taking screenshots. My phone is like my kids, my husband, my family, and a ton of screenshots of things that make me excited about life. I'm constantly writing notes. I leave voice memos for me on my phone, or I even talk to ChatGPT just so I can get it out of my system. I send voice notes constantly, and I just have an ideas bank. On my phone in Pinterest, on my desktop. You can save things on your Instagram, like save them. You never know when you're going to need them, but that way you don't have to start from scratch. Okay. When it comes to an idea, let's say you want to do a photo shoot. Let's say you want to write a book. Let's say you want to do something extraordinary for yourself. Well, starting from scratch at a blank piece of paper is going to be a bit daunting. So in order for you to step up into your next chapter, you want to have a plethora of things that get your blood flowing and that you get excited and you're like, oh, this can really be something. But in your day-to-day life, that's something that you could be building as you walk down the street. Something's on the ground. I'm sure you guys see things. Take a picture of it. You don't have to post everything all the time, but just keep it so that you start really seeing things that you're gravitating towards. Visions, your ideas, and the moments that you love, because that starts to really define you. And then when the opportunity comes, you're not scrambling, you're pulling. And that's how a creative director is for the job. Now flip it up. Do it for yourself, because that's why we're here. This is for you. We're greenlighting our own life. We're not greenlighting somebody else's vision. We're not greenlighting somebody else's network idea. We're greenlighting our own life. And as a creative director, that's what we do. Okay. So, number 3, let's learn the language to your next level. Oh, you can't lead a room you don't understand. And I've said this, people in my community have said this, and they say it from experience because it's true. You cannot lead a room that you don't understand. So if you're in a position in life, obviously we're here because we're entertainers and we are in the entertainment industry. If you're not, this can be applied to you as well. This is not a one kind of thought process. If you're in a position and you want to step up to that next level or different type of room, you got to understand the language. That language is going to set you apart and give you the respect that you want and desire when you're in that room. From my personal experience, I learned the value of this when I was accepted into the Disney director program. I understood what the directors have to do, think, talk about, and execute, get across the line, and how they do that through visual form, through written form, through networking form, like all of those things. I was like, oh, that's if I want to be in a situation. And I have, you guys, like I'm in a creative director position where I am talking to the director, but if I want that next level, I got to get in these rooms where those next conversations are happening. I'm in masterminds. I put myself in a situation where they're female business owners or, entrepreneurs, and they're stepping up in a new business way or a more powerful business way. I'm putting myself in situations where I want to be a part of that conversation and understand the dialogue of it. Imagine a dentist saying, I'm going to be a dentist, but they don't go to college. They don't go get a higher education. Are you going to let that dentist do your teeth? I need the dentist to put themselves through education. I need them to do some internships and whatever that tier layer is for them to get there. I need them to do the work. And it still applies to us as well, too, as entertainers, as people who want to step up in a creative way. Just because we're free spirited and we don't want a 9-to-5 job doesn't mean we can't actually apply ourselves in a way to better understand the industry that we love. And so I think if there's a way to do that for yourself, then do it. Don't be afraid. Don't take yourself seriously. How are they going to take you seriously? So you need to believe things and believe that you are worthy of those places by putting yourself there or getting yourself into a conversation or taking somebody out to coffee and saying, what do I have to do to understand your world better? And, it might be some misses. When you find a gem, when you find somebody who really wants to see you shine, they're going to give you some tips. They're going to help you. Thank God that there's some people out there, some angels, some non-gatekeeping angels out there who will give you a bit of information, but you got to put yourself out there. I'm going to go here. I'm going to just give a solid plug because this is real. Because I have Creative Director Pro Academy, and for people who want to step up into that creative leadership and design shows and create ideas for live performances, not only do I apply myself, but I also create experiences so that people can do it. So on May 29th, we are going to have a lighting field trip here in Los Angeles. I'm going to put the tickets link in the show notes, and the link is also in my bio at Tiana Today so that you guys can come and understand the world of lighting. If you love live performances, gonna want to learn from an incredible lighting designer and get hands-on experience understanding what this world is. So that's my plug. If you want to know, get in the know. Back to the learning the language. Don't you actually want to know what they're talking about? Do you want to know what that next level conversation is? If you want to be a millionaire, shouldn't you be talking to people who talk about millions and millions of dollars because you want to be a millionaire? Like, what if I want to be a millionaire, but I'm only talking to people who are not that at that point and talking about a lot less money? Well, you got to get into the circles and you got to get into the zone of your genius and their genius so that you can get into that gap so you can step up to that next chapter with confidence. Because that's what we got to do. That's what we got to do. Okay. I'm doing it. Are you doing it? I'm doing it. We got to do it. Step 4, create systems that support you and keep you moving forward. None of this works if your life is chaotic. I have to say this again. None of this works if your life is chaotic. I am 1000% human, flesh made of reality, and I say this from experience. As soon as I start getting a little off track and I'm not as focused and I'm maybe doing things that I think are counterproductive to my focus, I feel it and I hate it. And it doesn't make me feel at my most full potential of life. So you got to minimize the chaos. And that means you got to find the balance. You got to create systems. You got to have accountability for yourself, that you show up in a way that gives you space to grow, step up in that next place. Just can't stay the same. Does same equal change and movement and momentum? No, it doesn't. No one says, hey, if you want to step up into that next gig, you got to stay the same. Stay the same. It's fine. It'll come to you. Just do the same stuff over and over and over and over again. No, you got to test the waters. But at the same time, you got to build a little bit of a routine. And that's what's helped me step up into so many new chapters of my life. So on the gig as a creative director, this is what works for me, just to kind of build some systems. I'm in Milanote. Milanote keeps everything organized. I've got a Google Drive for every single job. And if it goes away, I put a little 3 Z's, ZZZ. That's no longer something I need to focus on anymore. However, I don't want to lose all that information. I put it in my ZZZ, go to sleep files. So if I need to pull it back up, I just go there and find it again. So I really try to minimize how much information I see in my Google Drive. I could apply that to my Canva. I'm working on it. Pinterest, everything is it's all itemized. This is creatively for that job. This is creative for that job. This is creative for this job. This is creative for that job. And some of them blend together. But at the end of the day, that's what it looks like for on the gig. That doesn't change for my personal life. So I am totally categorizing my life in so many ways. My weekly routines keep me accountable for momentum, making small steps of progression. So every Tuesday, I'm sending out inspiration inbox. On Tuesdays, when we're in the academy, I know we're meeting at 9 a.m. for 1 hour. On Wednesdays, I'm meeting with the community for 1 hour at 9 a.m. On Thursdays, the academy, we are meeting for open office hours. When I don't have that, I also have Instagram Live. We go live Thursdays, maybe every third Thursday. It keeps me accountable. I have the podcast here. It's every first of the month. Why do I do this? Because I realize that when I'm on set and there's a deadline and I'm creating for somebody, that means I'm going to get it done. So why can't I do that for myself? I create these markers so that I have accountability of showing up not only for you, but for myself. And when I do that, I making small steps towards every direction that I want to be in. And I love it. Love it. I'm pretty sure you're happy I'm showing up too, okay? Otherwise, you would not be here. Okay, what else do I do? Oh, I would show you this, but here's the fun part about my office. So this curtain, I have this curtain here because when you open the curtain, I have these markers, these window-friendly markers, and everything that I want to create, I write on this window so I can see it. I walk in here so that as soon as it's done, I check it off. And then if it takes a month to get that done, okay, great. Now I'm going to create more events, more opportunities, more connections. And I hold myself accountable because I have to see it. So that's for me personally. And I think it works. I think it works and I wanted to share it with you. So where are you visually seeing your next steps? Is it in your back pocket, that deep in a note and you got to scroll to find it? No, you should have a visual somewhere in your house that you can really say, I got to make that happen. I'm going to do it. I got to tick that box off. Do it for yourself. I know that's not made for everybody, but if you just try it, you actually might see that it's effective. You can't do it all, folks. You shouldn't do it all. But when you know who to call them with confidence. The people that I call, I know they're heavy hitters. I know if I call them, they're going to deliver on the job and in my personal life. So just be confident to know that people can help you and support you. And maybe if it's a financial thing where you're like, I'm not sure if I'm ready for that support, if you take a chance on it, just like a month test run, you will start making space so that it does make sense. for you, for your business, for your life, for your creative ideas. Support is there. We do want community. We do want to share things. We do want to be creative together. So I think that's something we have unfortunately adopted, that we think we should do everything by ourselves. And I just don't think that that's the case anymore, because I'm living proof of it. And I hope you can see that that's why there's a difference of how you see me. How often do you see me? Or how often do you hear of a something coming up, of an event, because I'm not afraid to reach out and ask for the support that this particular idea needs. You don't need a perfect system. You just need a system that keeps you moving. Period. That's it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Matter of fact, it won't be perfect. But when you find it, because you're testing it out and you're running through the steps, you'll realize what works for you. And next thing you know, you're stepping into that next chapter. My systems are what allows me to move fast without feeling overwhelmed. As soon as I start feeling overwhelmed, I say, I need a week off, or I need a second, and I don't feel bad. I just know that I need to give myself some grace. Then I get back on that track and I figure out what makes sense. And last but not least, point number 5. Number 5 is execute before you feel ready. I know I've said this many times, but this is something that I truly embody. And I'm going to use this podcast as an example of that. I've always wanted the podcast. I love the podcast. Every time I'm showing up, I'm testing out new waters. I'm testing out new ways to do it. In the very beginning, I didn't do video. Like, no, I'll just do audio. It's fine. Then I said, okay, I'm going to do a video. And the video is a lot easier than I thought it was, because there's a system called Riverside.fm that can kind of plug and get everything all nice and organized. Then I went to the studio. So now I realize, okay, I'm going to have studio guests, and I'm going to do my in-person, I'm going to do my solo episodes in my house. It's solo and it's cute and I don't have to do much, is perfect. If I did not actually start, I wasn't ready. I had my friend Sarah, who's my producer. I said, can you help me at least upload it to understand that process while I figure everything else out? And she helped me. And in that sense, if I had not done that, I would not have this podcast, this Greenlight Your Own Life podcast. So I wasn't fully ready. I had the idea, but it's now in full swing, and I'm feeling a lot more confident as I test new things out, and it gets to be what it is. The root of why I say this is confidence is not the starting point. We all have ideas. What builds that confidence and that clarity is by action, is by taking the action to do the thing. You got to do the thing. You got to figure out what works. Why do you like to do X, Y, and Z? Great. You just got to start moving one foot in front of the other. Start setting some deadlines for yourself. Call some people to just give you the little bump of support that you might need. And you'll find your feet. You will find your way. This is how you greenlight your own life. Yes, we could do it for so many other people. They're going to say, oh, I'm going to pay you $1 million to get this show off the ground. Great. Of course I can do it all for you. But if you are feeling stuck and you actually want to do something for you and give yourself that momentum and build that own personal brand and get that vision of yourself out there for people to want to call you for a job, then guess what? You got to do some internal work and some actionary things to make it happen. If you do the same, they're not going to think anything is different. And that's just the real thing. Saying yes to roles. Going back to saying yes before you feel ready. Beyond your own personal life, when it comes to the job and you want to step up in a new way, you kind of have to say yes to things that you've never done before either. And that's okay. Guess what? You're going to figure it out. I have said yes to so many jobs that I've never done in my whole life, and I figure it out. And even if I fall flat on my face, which I have, okay, I have fallen flat physically, metaphorically, emotionally, all the things, I get back up. And I find the good, and I'm like, gonna keep pushing, try new things. That's this podcast. Okay, I wasn't ready, but we're here. Stepping into rooms, get plugged into places you want to learn more about. That's it. You just got to get in that room. Get in the room where you feel like it is your destiny to be in that room. That's it, folks. To recap, you got your vision. You got to get clear. You get your references, build that bank, learn the language, start talking the game that you want to be talking, build the systems, hold yourself accountable, and execute. Generate and activate your ideas, guys. Move. Do it. Don't get stuck in the mud. I believe in you. Someone close to you believes in you. Don't listen to the naysayers. Don't listen to the gossips. You have this. It is totally within your power to make it happen. Greenlight your own life doesn't always mean building something from scratch. It just means deciding you are not waiting any more. That's all that this is. Last but not least, usually I say to my guests, and last time I said to myself, I knew I was the green light when, but I want to flip it. I want you to tell me in the comments. I want you to tell me in my DMs. I want you to tell me in the comments of Instagram, wherever. I want you to fill in this. I knew I was the green light when. I want to hear from you. I love that you guys are showing up for these podcast episodes. I love that you're listening. I appreciate you, especially when you guys tell me or leave a comment. You have no idea how much I appreciate this connection with you guys. And I turn up for you because I believe this is possible. Because why not? Why not, you guys? There's so much love that I have for life, so much love that I have for people to shine. And I honestly believe that greenlighting your own life will give you freedom that you never even knew you were capable of. So thank you for showing up today. Show your girl some love. I want to hear your guys' answer in the comments. And I will see you next month. Thank you again. Ciao, ciao for now.